had the opportunity to get this house, I was mostly shutting everything out. And when I first walked into this house, it was a rent house. It's now mine. But when I first walked in this house and I just got God bumps, I loved it. And I thought it was so beautiful. And you know what? I was already telling myself because I didn't feel worthy. Oh, they won't accept me because I have two big dogs. Oh, they won't accept me. I don't know if my credit rating's good enough because I was going through a very challenging time from stepping out to help my brother. And I was beating myself up over it. And I did not call them after I stepped out of this house. I knew I could afford the payments. And I still told myself stories saying that I couldn't have this house. But you know what? There was enough of me connected. There was enough of my journey I already had that when they reached out to me, I went, oh, I wonder if this is for me. What if God is sending me this? Okay, I'm just going to respond and I'm going to step out in faith that maybe my credit is okay. And maybe they're okay with me having two big dogs. And I did. And I got this house. But here's the amazing part. I got this house and I fell in love with this neighborhood and I loved this house and I loved my neighbors. And but I was very broke. I was a year away from getting around to realizing, oh, am I going to choose to lose everything or am I going to step out and figure it out? So it was several years in this house. And then I reached out to my landlord. Guess what? This house was owned by somebody who owned one rent house. When most houses, if they're rent houses, are owned by groups, companies, corporations. He wanted to sell the house. He didn't want to be a landlord. Do you not think that that was all known before I ever walked in the door of this house? 3 years before I was in the space, before I was in the place to even ask. And in the place where I was to ask, within less than a year, I had enough money for a cash down payment. When I was almost bankrupt before I landed in this house, and how is I started connecting. I started connecting to God. I chose to get in my seat every morning and change what I was doing and start trying to connect and start appreciating every morning what I could appreciate and reading positive things and learning anything I could learn to be in a better mental space. And you know what? When I first started doing that, I made it about 5 minutes into work and then I would be stressed and overwhelmed because creditors were calling us every day. Because even though we had a busy business, I hadn't understood how to get ideas and connect and change things. I was working hard, but not working smart because I was disconnected and struggling and punishing myself basically without realizing that's what I was doing. And as I started to get connected, ideas started coming. Oh, we could do this. Oh, this might work. Oh, we need to look into this and charge this and do this thing. And within a year, I was of changing that, of choosing to make sure that I got in my chair every single morning and I did my best to connect to God, source energy, and to learn to appreciate myself again and not feel overwhelmed and trust the answers would come and that I could live a different life and I was worthy of a different life. All those things that are what extraordinary life is about now is because I learned that you can take ordinary and make it extraordinary. And there are specific steps and formulas that you can do to connect yourself when you're disconnected, and that God loves you. And there's nothing on this earth that you can have done or not done, sometimes because you didn't know, that mean that you're not worthy.